because that's what I felt was right for our team. But what? That's what I felt was right for our team.
I'm just curious, what maybe you may have saw out there that you thought?
I liked his pace in the first half, getting open shots, be able to push the tempo, and having a point guard on the floor. Because with Reggie off the floor, we needed a point guard on the floor, so that's what we did.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's go to Matthew Cole.
What made it so difficult in the third quarter and in the Jazz? What were Jazz doing on defense that made it difficult for you guys to get into the stuff you wanted to get to?
I got to take a look at it, but I thought their physicality in the second half picked up. Picking up full court, getting into us, being physical, and we didn't match that physicality on the offensive end. Taking the ball out of bounds on the sideline or baseline out of bounds. They're getting into us, and we had a couple of turnovers that led to easy baskets for those guys. So we got to own our space. Coming back game two, owning our space and being more physical on the offensive end.
Alex, you can go ahead.
Wait, me? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Hi, Ty. Hi, Coach. Appreciate you guys doing this. It seems like tonight it was kind of like a pick your poison. It was either Donovan Mitchell or threes from the outside. And I wonder, just kind of defensively, what kind of matchups or what kind of adjustments can you make to just kind of see how they were kind of able to, especially in the second half, kind of hit you guys with a lot of everything.
We'll watch the film and we'll see. Donovan Mitchell had it going tonight, so late in the game we try to blitz and try to do a little firing, but he had it going, so hats off to him for having a good game. But we'll look at the film and we'll make some adjustments.
Justin Russo, you can go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I was kind of wondering, was fatigue a factor at all with some of the guys' minutes being down, like Nick's minutes being in the low 20s or anything?
Yeah, I think so. But, like I said, we wanted to play 10 guys in the first half just to kind of see where we're at, try to get our legs up under us. We didn't want to wear guys out, early on in the game. And I thought our bench guys came in and did a great job. And then in the second half, looked like we didn't have a lot left in the tank, but we made some mental mistakes as well. So we just got to clean those things up, and we'll be ready to go for game two.
Bill Plaschke?
Yeah, any thought to calling a timeout before that last possession?
No.
You didn't want Utah's defense to get set?
Yeah, I didn't want to take Gobert out the game and have their switchable guys in or have time to, talk about it as a team if they want to foul or not. And I just thought getting a stop, getting out on the break with Gobert on the floor, was going to be able to generate an open three. But he did a good job of closing out to the corner. I got to watch it, but that's the best time to try to get a three, especially when a team doesn't know if they're going to foul or what they're going to do, coming down in transition.
Thank you.
Nick Hamilton, you can go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you guys can pretty much stay the course. But are there a couple of things that you can take positively from this game that you can enhance for game two and try to get the W?
I think just our guys coming out the bench, the way they played, get a chance to see who can play in this series and who can't from game one. And I thought we did a great job in the first half. Came out in the third quarter a little sluggish, not making the right play, not making any shots, and they kind of got going offensively. So just cleaning that up, and we'll be better, like I said, going into game two.
Thanks. And last question we have from Mason.
Hey, Coach. What do you make of Zoo's contribution in this game? It seemed like you wanted to stagger his minutes when Gobert wasn't on the floor. How do you see his role shaping out in the series against Gobert and when he's not on the court?
I think having a bigger role. I think Zoo was great tonight, really protecting the paint. I thought he did a good job, blocked a couple shots, rebounding the basketball, just being a big body inside and being physical. So Zoo was great tonight, so it was good to see.
Thanks, Coach. That's all the time we got with you.
All right, thank you.
People's brain. Usually you start to feel yourself, I've arrived. He doesn't feel like he's arrived.
Yeah, I don't know Donovan that well, but every time I've been around him, he's very humble and seems to be very open and to learning. And D-Wade, of course, part of the ownership group now with Utah. We saw him on the sideline. Earl, when you have somebody like that who's a legend, a future Hall of Famer, first ballot, who's been to these games and been in these situations, how valuable is that to see and being able to go and ask and pick his brain?
It's extra confidence. You seek that knowledge and seek that resource. And as we was watching him play, Smitty and Ro, he reminds me of Eric Gordon his size, his build, his shiftiness was before the injuries. And if Eric Gordon would have got drafted to a better organization, this is who he would have been. So when you have that situation and you have a D Wade, you have an owner who actually knows the game, which is rare in this league, it kind of gives you confidence. D Wade can give him insight that not even Quinn can give him, because D Wade's been on that court and lived in those moments with the ball in his hand, going down the stretch, closing games in the playoffs.
So when we go to the other side, the Los Angeles Clippers coming off that Game 7, I know that was taxing if you think about it. That was a longer series than maybe some might have expected. Paul George struggling to get his shot together. Had 13 in the fourth quarter, but really couldn't find his shot earlier. What were some of the things that stuck out to you about the Clippers that you saw that they can improve upon?
Well, I think for them is they're going to have an adjustment. Obviously, you wanted to come in and win this game, and obviously it sent a message. But you lost this one. But I love what T. Lue has done. He pushed another button tonight, DeMarcus Cousins. Came in, didn't play well his few minutes. And I think also Luke Kennard has been able to play well. He's trying to find the rhythm of this, and T. Lue's one of the masters of being able to manage, adjust. He's one of those guys, I'm just not going to run to the race. I'm going to just keep plotting. And then I think for him is he's going to figure it out, and I think this game is going to be beautiful for him. This is what I love about the game. I just want to be a fly on the wall with the coaches when they're talking about the adjustments, because that's the game within the game. When you're a player, yes, you know what kind of adjustments you're going to make. But as a coach, I got to tell Earl what kind of adjustments I think. He's got to tell me, and we got to be on the same page. And that's the beauty about basketball when you have a coach-player relationship.
That's the mental aspect. Earl, I want to ask you about the physical aspect. Coming off that Game 7, we saw it seemed like they had a lot of energy early. Do you think that energy faded away? What do you think happened with the Clippers towards the end of the game?
You're still playing at altitude. Like when I played in Utah, we knew if we ran hard and ran early and hit it first, we would catch teams in the second half, especially going in the fourth and last 6 minutes of the game. Denver's the same way when I played in Denver. So maybe that altitude caught them, but the second time they come into that arena for Game 2, they will have their wind underneath them. They'll be ready. They'll be mentally focused. And I grew up with T. Lue. We grew up in the same gyms in high school. He's crafty. He's moving it around. He's talking to Chauncey. He's looking at different ways. And Smitty, I really think he threw more players out there because he knew the altitude would catch them going down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
Mike Conley didn't play in this one. He had that hamstring injury that kept him out for 21 games earlier in the season. Re-injured that in the last game of the last series. Smitty, how do you think Utah handled himself not being able to have Conley in the lineup tonight?
Well, it's a lot on Donovan Mitchell. I mean, you just look at it. He played 36 minutes, but it's not just the minutes. It's everything he has to do. It's going to have to be somebody else. And I thought Jordan Clarkson came in, gave him a lift, didn't shoot well. You don't really look at percentages right now in the playoffs. It's just to get it done, get a win. I think there's going to have to be more of Joe Ingles, more of Bogdanovich. And I'm not talking about scoring, just taking a load off of Donovan Mitchell, because at this pace, I'm not saying he can't do it, but if I'm T. Lue and the Clippers, it's taking 45 to beat us in Utah, and it was just by 3 points. We had a chance to tie it at the end. We had a possession that we could have made a difference. So the Clippers are saying we didn't play our best game, Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, and we had a chance. I think they're going to feel okay.
You just mentioned Ty Lue. We know that Earl